rubber art stamps is not as complicated as some will have you believe. The process is really very straightforward and easy to master. Sure, it's possible to complicate matters, breaking it down to scientific precision in temperatures, times, and fractions of inches if you like that sort of thing. But you don't have to be an engineer or physicist to understand the basics required to begin molding stamps from your designs. After all, you're not sending your stamps to the moon. It ain't rocket science. The stamp making process begins with your original black and white artwork. The layout can be a paste-up or printout of several designs or a single repeated design. The original art is used by a photo engraver to make a master plate. The master plate is typically magnesium or zinc that has been acid etched to form a raised copy of your designs. Jackson Marking Products offers photo engraving services, or you may find someone locally who is capable of providing your engravings. Once you have the photo engraving or master plate, a matrix molding board is made in the vulcanizing press. The matrix material is a heat-setting board that softens from the heat of the press, allowing the master plate to be pressed into its surface. Further heating results in the hardening or curing of the board, forming it into a durable, reusable mold of your designs. Spray the dark, unmarked surface of the matrix board and the face of the master plate with silicone spray release solution to prevent the pieces from sticking together during the molding process. Put the photo engraving face down on the matrix board and place the board on the work tray provided with your precision press. Matched steel bars, called bearer bars, are placed at the edges of the work tray to regulate the thickness of the finished matrix and to ensure that the mold is even from side to side. Place the work tray on the lower platen of the preheated press and slide it in until the materials are centered on the platen. Bring the lower platen up until the materials just make contact with the upper platen of the press. With our motorized presses, simultaneously press the two green buttons on the front panel of the press. Set the timer for the dwell time and press start. During the dwell time, the heat from the platens will soften the matrix board so that the master plate can be pressed into its surface. Dwell time will vary, generally from 1 to 3 minutes, depending on the type of matrix board you're using. At the conclusion of the dwell time, slowly increase the pressure on the press until the bearer bars make contact with and are tightly clamped against the upper platen. You can check by tapping on the bars with a screwdriver or spare bearer bar. Check both sides to make sure they're tight. When they are, this means that the platens are level and that the matrix mold will be of even, consistent thickness. Set the timer for the cure time to harden the matrix board. Again, this time will vary with the matrix material, but is generally around 10 to 12 minutes. On our motorized presses, press the start button on the timer, then set the automatic platen drop switch to the on position. When the timer reaches 0, the pressure will release, lowering the platen automatically. At the conclusion of the curing cycle, the timer will beep. On a motorized press, the pressure will release and the lower platen will drop. Rock the automatic platen drop switch to the off position to prevent the platen from dropping farther than necessary. On a manual press, turn the pressure release handle counterclockwise to release the pressure. Wearing heat-resistant gloves, remove the work tray from the press. Separate the photo engraving from the matrix board. It may be necessary to flex or twist the board a bit, but the two pieces should separate easily. The board is now ready to be used immediately to mold rubber. The master plate can now be set aside until it's needed again. Generally speaking, the matrix board can be used to mold 200 to 300 sheets of rubber before it will need to be replaced. Place the matrix board back on the work tray with the bearer bars still in place. Cut a piece of rubber to cover the board. Remove the plastic backing sheet from the rubber and discard it. You will notice that the face of the rubber is dusted with white mica powder. This powder will keep the rubber from sticking to the matrix board during the molding process. Lay the rubber mica side down on top of the matrix board and place a piece of Holland cloth or release paper on top to prevent the rubber from sticking to the upper platen of the press. Place the work tray back in the press, again centering the materials on the lower platen. Again, bring the platen up until the materials just make contact with the upper platen. Set the timer for the recommended dwell time and press start. This dwell time softens the rubber so that it will flow into the mold. At the conclusion of the dwell time, increase the pressure again, tightening the bearer bars against the upper platen. Set the timer for the cure time, usually 6 to 8 minutes, depending on the rubber. Both dwell and cure times will vary with the type of rubber you're molding. The supplier of the rubber will be able to provide the correct dwell and cure times. Press start, then turn the automatic platen drop switch on. When the curing cycle is over, remove the work tray from the press, and wearing the heat-resistant gloves, pull the rubber off of the matrix board while it is still hot. The rubber can be set aside to cool before cutting, and the molding process can be repeated immediately if additional sheets of the same designs are needed. So there you have it, art stamps from start to finish without sending even one monkey into orbit. With over 40 years of experience in manufacturing rubber stamps of all kinds, Jackson Marking Products offers a full line of equipment and services for art stamp manufacturers and the know-how to get you started. Feel free to contact us. We'll answer your questions without explaining the theory of relativity. Jackson Marking Products, www.rubber-stamp.com. Phone 618-242-1334 or toll-free 800-782-6722. Email us at jmp@rubber-stamp.com.